Good morning, this is Mark with Tuesday's video devotional. I hope your day's off to a great start. And I want to begin by asking you, have you ever competed in any kind of distance race? I've got friends, they compete in half marathons, full marathons. I've never been tempted to join them in that. It's really not my idea of a great time, but I did one time compete in a 10K, which is about 6-point-something miles. Not long by serious runner standards, but I found it to be sufficiently long enough. I can remember I was very happy when I saw the finish line, and I even remember getting this little boost of adrenaline where I probably ran faster in the last 200 yards of that race than I did for much of the rest of it. And that's not uncommon, right? I mean, runners get that little extra kick, that extra turbo boost when they see the finish line. And in the book of Hebrews, in chapter 12, the author kind of touches on this when starting about midway through verse 1. It says, "And let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us." I just want to stop there for a moment and just say, we need to run with perseverance because our race is not a sprint. It's a marathon. And perseverance is going to be something that we need to develop along the way. Well, how do we do this? Well, starting in verse 2, it says, "Fixing our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of our faith." We fix our eyes on Jesus because he's the one who has pioneered this race. He's the author of it, the one who has marked out its boundaries. And not only that, by the perfecter, it means he's going to finish our race for us through his grace and his strength. And so we just focus on him and rely on him, and he takes care of the rest. And this is not something that Jesus calls us to do in some theoretical way. It's something he actually practiced in his life. This last weekend, we were looking at his experience in the Garden of Gethsemane in Mark chapter 14. And I mean, it's intense, the anticipation of not just the physical suffering, which is horrific in and of itself, but the spiritual dimension is even worse than we can even begin to imagine, as he would take upon himself the sin of the world. And he gets to the point where he says, "Abba, Father, take this cup from me." It's that bad. And yet, immediately following that, he says, "Nevertheless, not my will, but your will be done." In other words, Father, I will finish this race. I will finish the mission you've given me. And of course, by doing so, heaven is just wide open for us to enter through faith in what he's done for us on the cross. Well, how did he have that strength? Where did that resolve come from? Well, it continues here in Hebrews 12, second half of verse 2, where it says, "For the joy set before him, he endured the cross, scorning its shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God." For the joy set before him, for the joy of doing the Father's will, the joy of completing his mission, the joy of having you and me included in God's family through what he would do, for all of that, he finished the race and had the strength to go forward. Well, we're not going to be called anything that terrible, that difficult, but we have our own trials, we have our own hardships. And the key in the midst of those trials, when you feel like you've just hit a wall, keep your eyes fixed, focused on Jesus. He'll give you the endurance, the strength that you need to meet each challenge and at each leg of your race. Well, God bless you, and I hope you have a great day.